Once upon a time, a freshman from Detroit named Sergio Perkovic burst onto the lacrosse scene with a crazy powerful shot, a punishing frame, and a confidence that you could feel from a mile away. Well, now he has the most 2-point goals in the PLL and has blossomed into one of the main faces in the entire sport of lacrosse. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to meet Sergio Perkovic 2.0, Eric Dobson. Dobson is a freshman midfielder on Notre Dame, and when you put him and Perkovic side by side, you start to see how weirdly similar these two are, starting physically. Standing at 6'4", 220 pounds, Dobson is nearly identical in size to his older counterpart Sergio, who's 6'4", 225. Lacrosse has definitely evolved into a sport that values raw athleticism almost more than anything else, so Dobson's big frame makes him the perfect fit for being an elite college lacrosse midfielder and future pro. This body type allows him to easily run by checks and create separation to shoot, which leads me to my next point. Shooting. Perkovic is known for his long-range, 100-mile-per-hour righty bombs. Just look at the slow-motion beauty during one of his college games. Well, Dobson does the exact same thing, except left-handed. Dobson has pulled up from range this season, sometimes shooting from a few steps inside the restraining box. Young players take note, Dobson does a great job using his body and getting his hands completely back to uncork a shot that very few D1 goalies can save. And this is where it gets even weirder. You think if you're 6'4" and well over 200 pounds and can rip outside shots, you'd be ranked in the top 20 players. But if you look at the rankings, Eric Dobson was ranked number 61 in the Inside Lacrosse Power 100, and Sergio Perkovic was ranked number 58. So essentially they were ranked the same in high school. This leads me to my next point, which is that both of these guys come from very similar types of areas for lacrosse. Dobson hails from Florida, while Sergio Perkovic hails from a suburb right outside of Detroit. Both of these places are what I'd call semi-hotbeds of lacrosse. They aren't traditional powerhouses like Long Island or Baltimore, but you definitely see D1 talent come out of the area. I mean, Sergio Perkovic won 4 state titles for his high school brother Rice, and Dobson was named the 3-time MVP for his high school. Both of these guys were excellent high school lacrosse players, and I think they kind of got overlooked. And although Perk and Dobson are both amazing at lacrosse, it's interesting to see that they both have similar struggles, mainly shooting accuracy. When digging through his PLL stats, I found Perkovic has a career shooting percentage of 23%, and Eric Dobson has a shooting percentage of around 21%. So both players can struggle at times to finish the ball. But this makes sense. The shots that these guys are taking are objectively much harder. They're not going to score as much as an attackman taking 5 or 10-yard shots, but if Dobson can raise his shooting percentage in years to come to something more like 30%, I think that's where he becomes dominant and elite. By the way, you can always subscribe to the free Lax Weekly email newsletter packed with tips on how to become a better lacrosse player. I'll leave a link in the description where you can go subscribe now. But these two guys both have a confidence that you can truly feel just by watching them play. We saw this countless times in Sergio, when he scored so many game winners and big goals in big games. Eric Dobson is averaging 2 points a game on a very strong Notre Dame team, and he is not afraid to take it to the rack. At the end of the day, you want someone who wants the ball in those clutch moments, and these two guys are certainly not afraid to have it.
Right? Like, this guy is an absolute animal. The way that he makes his presence felt.
And then you realize that they're even more similar, like the fact that both of these guys majored in business and are extremely smart. Dobson graduated in the top 2% of his high school class, and Perkovic works for one of the leading financial institutions in the world. What if these guys ended up playing pro lacrosse together? Imagine having 2 Sergio Perkovics on the field, one on the right, one on the left. That would be insane, and goalies and defenses would probably cry. I'm excited to see the growth and development of these two. Dobson has the chance to take the next steps in becoming an elite college lacrosse midfielder, and Perkovic has a chance to cement his legacy as one of the pro game's all-time greats. What do you think of all this, and what video should I make next? I'm Jake with Lax Weekly. I hope you have a fantastic day.